I was conceived in the Scottish Highlands when my mother and father were on a camping holiday. And then I was born at sunrise in midsummer, and my mum and dad aptly call me Dawn Heather, okay? I am the proud daughter of a great British inventor called Peter Gibbons, and I mean proud. My dad, he's been my inspiration in life. He's always been the one that's been like giving me a kick, saying, come on girl, you can do it. I had such an amazing relationship with him. You couldn't control him. He was an industrial chemist, and he was constantly formulating and designing products, but he was always doing it for other people. He never ever put a commercial price tag on his inventions. Do any of you guys and girls know any inventors like this? Yeah? They just don't know how to make money at all. They just share their ideas. Anyway, back in 1981, we met a man from Mars. It's actually a man from Mars, an engineer from Mars Confectionery, got hold of my dad. He'd been recommended by the Building Research Establishment because Mars had got serious problems. Sugar was eating into their floor. So, come on, can you come up with a sugar-resistant flooring, Peter? No problem. So he designed it, and he was about to sell the formulation to Mars to go and get them, install it, etc., for £2,000. Well, I'd just come back from travelling. I'd been hitchhiking all around Europe, living in a tent for a year, all sorts. And I was back home, living back home. And my mother went absolutely bananas. She says, Peter, you're absolutely crazy. Slapped him across the face and said, set up in business with Dawn, will you? And so that's what we did. And we set this amazing business called Flowcrete up in 1982, which was phenomenal. Best thing we ever did. And first year, 40,000, then next year, 150, then 600, and we got to about 1 million by 1990, and then 10 million by 2000, and then 2002, about 14, and then it went on. By the time I sold it, we were at 45 million, and you're in those 30 countries, which was amazing. My dad would be going, wow, yes, Dawn, you've done it, girl. And I'll tell you about him in a minute. I started in the recession back in 1982, and what am I doing now? I'm starting all over again in a recession. But do you know something? I'm excited about, I think it's the land of opportunity, particularly if you start to look globally and if you've got something special that you can take globally, and you keep your business diverse, that you can keep certain areas of your business very profitable. I think it's a great opportunity. It's a very different market out there. The economic climate's very different. I mean, when I was that person, Manufacturer of the Year woman, everybody was screaming at me, oh, Dawn, what are we going to do about British manufacturing? Everybody's going to China. But I tell you something, China's even coming over here now. I heard the other day that basically they're coming to manufacture in Poland, the Chinese are, so they're looking over here. Now I think because of all the raw material costs, etc., all the labour costs and such forth over in China, and look at the transportation, it's not very good carbon footprint to ship things all over the world, is it? I actually think that we're going to start to, buy local, make local, and I think we'll get a lot more manufacturing and small industries actually in the UK, and I think there's a great opportunity out there. Okay, so go global, make local. What I did with Flowcrete, on that go global, make local, yes, I nicked your idea. I'm sorry, you have to do this in business, don't you? HSBC, I thought that was fantastic, the world's local bank, so I was the world's local flooring company. And they did it. What I did, I set up 12 strategic manufacturing plants all over the world and basically did buy the raw materials locally, made them and serviced those markets. So we had manufacturing plants in Malaysia, 2 in South Africa, across Europe we had Sweden, Belgium, Brazil, America. And so we were servicing, a lot of countries from each of those manufacturing plants, and it worked. Yeah, we had about 40 different nationalities working for us. And, the cultures, Oh, guys, if you're not global, go global. Because the exciting thing about running a business, what is it? What is it? Come on, you tell me, David. Fun and people. Business is just all about communication and relationships, really, isn't it? So you start going global and you're meeting the different cultures and experiences. It is absolutely amazing. So HSBC, thank you for your advice there. It was absolutely brilliant. Okay, yeah, so go global. The global local strategy worked. So originally me and Dad doing this seamless flooring, but now Flowcrete this year have got 400 people, and my dad's no longer with us anymore, but Flowcrete now have got 15 chemists to replace him, you know, to keep in all the innovation. So, and we generate £500 million worth of revenue for our contractors, yeah, because we just used to actually manufacture the floors and then supply them to the contractors. Okay, I'm just going to use my prop now, if that's all right with you lot. I started to talk about my dad, and then I'm going to go on about my top tips. Every talk I do, I have to bring this with me, or I've got it on screen. And it's actually the Gibbons, my family crest. Because, you know, you asked me to talk about this climate, economic climate, and what is happening with the media? What's happening with the radio and TV? It's really depressing. You give us a really good positive feedback about HSBC and, you know. But I tell you, you've got to be positive, haven't you? If you look at what's happened to me in my life, you know, I set up this business with my dad, and he died of cancer, and actually the industry killed him. He died of this cancer called myeloma that was basically prolonged exposure to hydrocarbons and solvents. And anybody out the paints industry or flooring industry will realise that there was solvented resins there. There was tar extended resins and carcinogenic systems back in those days, you know. So it was the industry killed him. So that gave me so much, I don't know, energy and power inside to just eradicate that out of the industry, which I did. But I'm bringing this because it really gives me a buzz, this does. And I don't know what you've got. You all have to have one little thing, don't you, that gives you, that inspires you. And this is the family crest. And underneath the crest it says, Nito Dono Supero. You know, and it means I strive till I overcome. Basically, it's a message to us all. That just really gives me a buzz, because I think no matter what you hit, what barriers you hit, you've got to have that positive attitude to climb over and go for it, yeah? That is so important. Excuse me, could I just ask you, put your hands in the air, who's a leader in this room? Come on! Who's a manager, leader? Who's a mother or a father? Nearly most of you, for goodness sake, yeah? So I tell you, we have got such a responsibility, haven't we? Because we have got to be the inspirers of our team, our families and such forth. So we've got to keep that positive attitude, yeah? Absolutely, so important. Right, so let's have a look at these top tips. The first one of my top tips is about dreaming. And now you might think, oh, come on, Dawn, what are you talking about here, dreaming? Now, all you, just put your hands up. You know, you're leaders. You must have a dream. If you haven't got one, you start to think about your dream. Because when you start to achieve your dreams, that's when you really, really do feel good inside, yeah? I always had this dream that I wanted to be the world leader in seamless flooring. And I achieved that dream this year, you know. It was just amazing. So, but in the business world, what is a dream really? Hey? It's a strategic vision, isn't it? We call it all sorts of different things. But to succeed, you've got to have that dream, and you've got to have that strategic plan and vision to actually communicate to everybody so they can link into your dream and want to, you know, you've got to share it with all your team and get them energized with you. Yeah?